Montreal Canadiens 2020 player point predictions. I'm going to try to predict points totals for all the players currently on the roster, plus goalies, and their totals as well. And that's right here at Talking Habs with me, Rick. If you love the Habs like I do, subscribe and ring the bell to get all my videos, live streams, contests, and podcast news dedicated to the Habs and all things hockey. And you can leave any comments in the comment section below. Okay, so I'm kind of a little nervous about this one. I think when you make predictions like this, you kind of leave yourself open for lots of criticism, which is fine. I'm sure I'm not going to be perfect by any means. So, yeah, criticize away. What can I do? Okay, so what I did here was I put up on the board, which I'm going to show you fully, last season's point totals and my predictions, and they are in alphabetical order, so it'll come up as they come up alphabetically. There was something I wanted to say, and I'm forgetting. So we're just going to go right into these point predictions. I'm going to turn this camera over here so you can see. You might not see me as well. Okay. I think you can see, but anyways, let's go. So, like I said, I took last year's total, so they're up on the board here in red, and in blue, they are my predictions. And in alphabetical order, which means we go with Armia first. So Joel Armia, right up here. Last year, 13 goals, 10 assists, 23 points. They just signed him to a new deal. I'm sure they're counting on him to get a little bit more than he has gotten. At his age, he should be starting to produce a little more, and I happen to think he's going to have a bit of a breakout year, as I've said in another video. So I am going to say 18 goals, 20 assists for 38 points for Armia. And this depends on a little bit on that he gets a little bit of second line right wing time. So I think they're going to give him a try on the second line right wing. I think he's going to play a little bit there. And besides, he can play anywhere in the lineup for any short periods of time. So that's what I'm going with. Next up, Paul Byron, B. He had 15 goals, 16 assists, 31 points. That was in something like 57 games due to an injury and suspension. So now these are mostly based on full seasons, right? So I'm predicting based on a full season. So full season with Paul Byron healthy, 21 goals, 25 assists, 46 points. Plus, I think he's going to play a bit on the second line as well. Unless something comes up and they've replaced Andrew Shaw, we know who it's going to be. That's what I'm saying. Next up, Ben Sherratt, new defenseman. So with the Jets, he had 5 goals, 15 assists, 20 points. I think in Montreal, he's going to just up that a little bit. 6 goals, 18 assists for 24 points. He's not by any means an offensive defenseman. That's for sure, but he's going to play top 4 minutes. So I think just that alone, he's going to be in position to get a few assists. He got 15 with Winnipeg last season, so you got to figure he's going to come in somewhere around there. Those are my numbers. I think Sherratt's going to be a beast on the blue line for us, protecting Price, cutting down the high level scoring chances. Just great, cutting down on late last minute goals, changing. A few games that went into overtime or into a shootout might not do that. We might have a few less like that. So that's what I'm saying here. Next up, Nick Cousins, going to be a fourth liner. Maybe a better, I don't know. He's got an upside, just don't know what kind of an upside. But basically going to be a fourth liner. He had 7 goals, 20 assists, 27 points for the Coyotes last season. And I think this season he's going to have 8 goals, 18 assists, 26 points. Fourth line minutes, going to have basically the same amount of points. Next up, Phil Deneau. Phil Deneau had a really good season, career year, 12 goals, 41 assists, 53 points, and I don't think that changes that much. I see him getting a few more goals, 15 goals, 40 assists, 55 points. Yeah, I don't see, he's not a number one center, he's not going to put up number one center points. But at 55 points, he's not far off from some number one centers, so I think he produces pretty good. And, yeah, I think the note does similar to last year. Next up is Max Domi. Everyone's probably very interested in what anybody thinks of what Max Domi is going to put up. Will he fall off? Does he have more consistency through the year? Does he have that hot start he had last year? I'm looking at very similar numbers. Obviously, he had 28 goals, 44 assists for 72 points last year. I'm looking at him to have 26 goals, 45 assists, 71 points. No drop-off. The difference I see for Domi is you're going to see a more consistent Domi. You're not going to see that those big numbers the first 2 months, and then he slowly dropped off the rest of the season. And he had some spaces where he didn't have very many points. I see more consistency from Domi's game. Not much difference in numbers, more consistency. Next up is Jonathan Drouin. He had 18 goals, 35 assists, 53 points last season, and everybody should know if you watch my videos, I wasn't very happy with Drouin, with his effort level, with his compete level. What is he going to do this year? Excuse me. I think Drouin I think he'll get a little bit better as far as the numbers go. By the way, if you know what, we're down here. But I don't see him having a breakout year. 21 goals, 40 assists, 61 points. Which, believe me, aren't bad numbers. Excuse me, very thirsty. But I don't think they're going to be the numbers everyone's kind of hoping for from him. I think he improves a little bit, but not much. I think the guy's capable of 80 points. That's why. 61 points is not bad. I think he's capable of a lot more. Christian Folin. He played 19 games here last season. 0 goals, 4 assists for 4 points. I think if he plays a full season, maybe not a regular role, but he'll be there. He'll probably get himself 60 games. 4 goals, 10 assists, 14 points. Seems about right. Brendan Gallagher. Gally. He had a career high in goals. I'm not sure about assists and points, honestly, off the top of my head here. 33 goals, 19 assists, 52 points. I see him improving on both, on all three. 34 goals, 25 assists, 59 points, a total career year across the board. I think he's starting to reach that peak where he's going to level off, and that's why I don't see... I think he had 2 goals more than his previous high. Anyway, 34, 25, 59. Noah Juleson, in his 21 games before getting hurt, 1 goal, 4 assists, 5 points. If he can play a full season, I see 5 goals, 11 assists, and 16 points. And why I see those lower numbers is we don't really know how he's going to play. He's fully recovered, but how's he going to play? I don't know, so I'm kind of being conservative. Next up, hidden by the bar, is Jesperi Kotkaniemi. 11 goals, 23 assists, 34 points last season. Good rookie season, especially for an 18-year-old. I cannot see him not improving those numbers, even if he stays on the third line. So I'm going to say that he's going to get 20 goals, 30 assists, and 50 points for his sophomore year. 50 points. That's not bad for a 19-year-old. Shows a lot of promise. And I don't see how, you're looking at 9 goals and 7 assists more than last year. I don't see how, that's unreasonable. Guy's got a ton of talent, apparently bulked up a bit over the summer, which is going to help him. And we're going to just see some of that talent that he's got shine through a little more this year. Next up is Arturi Lehkonen. He had 11 goals, 20 assists for 31 points. Frustrating season last year for Lek. Guy was in position so many times, just couldn't pull the trigger. I see that he's going to get a handle on that trigger a bit better this year. I see 18 goals, 27 assists, 45 points. All he has to do is start connecting a little bit on all those chances that he missed on. If you just connect on a percentage of those chances, he's going to have improved numbers. Plus, he's only, I think, 25, 24, something like that. He's coming into his prime still. He hasn't reached it. He's going to be improving. I like what I see from Lehkonen, especially at the end of the season. And I think it carries off into this season, and you're going to see a breakout season from him. We're going to quickly change boards, not too quickly as to overturn the apple cart, as they say, and slide this next one in, and hopefully she stays. All right. We're going to move off to Victor Mete. Victor Mete had 0 goals, 13 assists, 13 points. He's going to break his virginity on goal scoring, Mr. Mete. I might be a little bit high on the goals, though. I'll give you that. 8 goals, 20 assists, 28 points. I think the points numbers are right there. He might have 5 goals, 6 goals, and have a couple extra assists, but I see the points total being about right. Jeff Petrie is up next. 13 goals, 33 assists, 46 points, career numbers. I'm not sure of all 3 across the board, but career numbers. Next season, I see slight drop-off. 12 goals, 31 assists, 43 points. Not much of a drop-off. I could be wrong. You could keep the same numbers. You could increase a little bit. I'm not sure. Hang on. Someone's calling me. I'm not going to answer while we're recording. Next up is Ryan Poehling. Ryan Poehling. No numbers last year because he was in the NCAA, so I'm not going to include those here. I see him having a good rookie season for Poehling. 18 goals, 25 assists, 43 points. And this depends on where he plays. But I see, he's going to be a rookie. I see 43 points, not bad for a rookie. He may have a little bit more, may have a little bit less, but I don't think far off. Next up is Mike Riley. Mike Riley had 3 goals, 8 assists for 11 points in limited time with Montreal. I don't see that changing as far as the time played. It's going to be limited. And I don't think he even gets that many points. I see 2 goals, 7 assists, 9 points, and that's even if he stays here the whole season or at all. I could see him being traded off somewhere before the season starts. Now, next I have Nick Suzuki, who had 0 points in the NHL last year because he was in the AHL all season. And I don't have Nick Suzuki starting the season in Montreal, but I kind of have a feeling he's going to play half the season at some point. He's going to come up and play at least half the season, so I'm putting him down for 40 games, 10 goals, 15 assists for 25 points in his first 40 games in the NHL. That's my vision. I think he does well. I have high hopes for him. I know that there's all kinds of stories out there about how he'll do and how he won't do. This is just how I feel he's going to do. I don't want to get into, there's not much time here. I don't want to get into all those details right now. I'm a Nick Suzuki liker, and I think he will do really good. Next up is Thomas Tatar. He had 25 goals, 33 assists for 58 points last season, which was career numbers on, I believe, the assists and the points totals. Slight drop-off, I see, but right around the same thing. 25 goals, 30 assists, 55 points, which is right in his ballpark for his average for his career. He's usually right in there. I don't see that changing too much. Nate Thompson, next up. In 25 games with Montreal, he had 1 goal, 6 assists, 7 points. I don't know if Nate Thompson stays here the whole year or even plays here next year. I'm not sure what's going on with centers and all that, but if he plays here all year, I see him getting 5 goals, 10 assists for 15 points. That's on a full season. Next up is Jordan Wheel. He had 4 goals and 6 assists for 10 points in 16 games with Montreal at the end of the year. A former Impact player in junior, a guy who hasn't found a fit yet in the NHL. I think he still has a lot of upside. Do I think he breaks out and hits 60 points this year? No, I don't. But I do see him getting career numbers all across. 16 goals, 23 assists for 39 points. And I'm being a little conservative. I can see him getting a little more, but I think he's going to be playing fourth line minutes most of this season. So I don't know how much higher he can get with those kind of minutes, but we're going to see what he's got. And last but not least is Shea Weber amongst the skaters. And he had 14 goals, 19 assists for 33 points, and I think something like 55, 57 games. I didn't look that up because he came back from injury. And as a healthy Shea Weber with a full season, I'm going to give him 15 goals, 25 assists for 40 points. Because honestly, I don't think he'll play 82 games. I can see him playing 70 games and getting that. Next, we'll move down to the goalies. Carey Price, of course, going to play the bulk of the games. I see him playing 58 games, pulling off a record of 34, 18, and 6 with a 2.33 goals against average and a 9.20 save percentage. And I'm sorry I didn't put his last season's totals or Keith Kincaid's. I'm just realizing now that I didn't do that. So sorry about that. And Keith Kincaid, I can see putting in 24 games, posting a record of 11-9-4 with a 2.90 goals against and a 9.06 save percentage, which would make the Habs record stand at 45 wins, 27 losses, 10 overtime or shootout losses, and hidden behind the bar is 100 points, which is a 4-point increase over last season, and I think that gets them one of the wild card spots. And that's my predictions for next season. A little awkward. It's the first time I'm ever doing anything like this, so I don't know. Let me know what you thought. I'm interested to know what you guys think. I'm going to adjust the camera back to me here to end this off. And just came off of my tripod. So that happened. Okay, so thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe and ring the bell, and that'll notify you of all my videos, live streams, not my contest, but by getting my videos, you'll hear about my contest, podcast news, and get your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge. And join me Saturday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for my Saturday night Hockey Talk live stream. And look for me soon, supposed to be in the next week or two, on Habalisten, the Habalisten podcast, which is available on Rocket Media and SoundCloud and probably other places too. And I guess that's it. So go Habs go. Bye, y'all.